Hey, how are we doing, guys? It's Chase the Boxing Fan back with another video, and we'll be talking about the upcoming matchup this weekend featuring the big one. I'm not talking about the down over in America featuring the Kazakhstan, Yanibek Akamanduli, nor am I talking about Tim Tszyu defending his super welterweight title over in Australia. Brian Mendoza. Of course, I'm talking about the big event in Manchester, the crossover, the influencer, whatever you want to call it, a showdown between KSI and Tommy Fury. Let's get into this one. The event on the zone, and they're asking for a pay-per-view package of £20. Will I be paying it? Not sure yet. I expect I might be persuaded. How do I feel about it? Well, look, is it a concern that, let's face it, we got two sort of what I would call proper boxing events going on this weekend, and let's face it, okay, they're not featuring British fighters, but people don't really know much about them. And the fact of the matter is that this event this weekend, rightly or wrongly, is on pay-per-view, is going to draw more eyes, and there's a reason for that, and that's because these influencers have followings, and the sad reality is these guys aren't even British level. They're sort of, well, in Tommy Fury's case, a novice professional. I'll probably argue similar with KSI. Some people still call him a YouTuber. I give him a bit more credit than that. So that's the situation. It is a bit of a farce. I don't like the circus that comes with it. I don't like the fact that in every press conference there seems to be people getting spat on, people getting body parts out. I just find all that doesn't help the cause. Serious game. I appreciate they're trying to create drama, they're trying to create intrigue, but I'd rather that the talking, the boxing do the talking, and that way I just think it might give it some more perhaps authenticity and more credit. I think we need to accept that there is a following. I don't know much about a lot of these guys. I'll be honest, who are on the undercard of this one. I think we got the likes of Salt Pappy and various other. I'm not going to really go too much into that. But there is a following, and I think the one positive that can come out of this, and let's be very clear that boxing, real boxing, can learn a lesson from this, and that is that we need to make sure that fighters, real boxers, who deserve all the credit and respect for the hard work they give to the sport, we need to make sure that they're perhaps genuine prospects are moved a bit quicker, so we're not seeing these fighters facing no-hopers, 50-1 shots. We need to see them moved a bit quicker. We need to see the big fights being made, and like we saw last week in Sheffield, when these events are done right and you get real genuine matchups, evenly matched fighters, they put with a lot on the line, we see how good it can be, and we just need to make sure that more of that happens, so that these events like this Saturday don't sort of become the normal, or take over from the real boxing. That's my input on that for what it's worth. Let's get into the fight, guys. I've said for a while that I think KSI will beat Tommy Fury on Saturday, and I'm sticking with that. And that's still no disrespect to Tommy Fury. I just think that for all the talking he does, he's long been talking about what he's going to do to people. Long been talking about giving the impression he's a professional boxer. You look at his record, he's fought one live opponent, who was the last person he fought before he fought Jake Paul. Other than that, he fought tomato cans, and so really he calls himself a professional boxer. That fight against Jake Paul, where he said he was going to show the difference in the levels, I had that fight a draw. I thought he was lucky to win that fight. He won that fight, the first part of the fight, he won off the jab, as you would expect. He was quicker to the jab, beat Jake Paul to the jab. But it's about time we saw Tommy Fury, in my opinion, show what he's been talking about all this time. I want to see him get his backhand into play. I want to see him land some big shots and actually, you know, stopping an opponent like he keeps claiming he's going to do. He's from a boxing family, he's from boxing stock. He's not just a Love Island, the body. All this. It's about time we saw it from him. And I just think he's coming in against KSI, a man who I've always rated. I think he's underrated, actually, in terms of his boxing ability. He's unorthodox. He's not going to be upright, sort of throwing his jab out straight. He likes to throw that jab to the body and then land that overhand right. So he's got that sort of almost outboxer style. He likes to sort of jump, stay out of range, and then try and you know, land his shots from. And I just think he's going to cause Tommy Fury problems. And I think he's a better chance of winning by stoppage, or if it goes the distance. I think he might have more of an effect and do more damage than Tommy Fury. So I'm sticking with my man tomorrow, sticking with JJ to do the business. Probably there'll be some controversy, and probably we'll see a rematch or something like that. I can see it going that way, and the KSI machine rolling on. Weight wise, if Tommy Fury comes in on weight, I'd be surprised. It's been agreed at a sort of catch weight, £183, which is quite a step up for KSI. Tommy Fury is a big guy. He'll be, if he does get down to 183, which I'll be surprised, he'll be a lot bigger than that when he gets into the ring on Saturday. KSI obviously fought his last fight against Joe Fournier. He was down at 177, so he is going up a fair bit in weight to fight Tommy Fury, who's quite muscle bound, big guy. So but there's no rehydration clause, so as I say, once they get in the ring, they'll have had a chance to 24 hours to rehydrate. And I think Tommy Fury will be a lot bigger on the night, but I don't hold that back from my prediction. I still think that KSI is my man. I'm sticking with him, and let's see what happens. Dillon Danis, Logan Paul. The only fight worth sort of mentioning really on the undercard from my perspective. Dillon Danis, an ex-Bellator sort of MMA guy, going in against a massive unit of Logan Paul, who, in fairness, more boxing experience. He obviously had that expedition with Floyd Mayweather, and managed to sort of go some rounds with Floyd Mayweather. Boxing experience and his extra size will see him through for the victory. We've seen it before, MMA guys trying to box. We'll see it again in a couple of weeks' time when Ngannou and Fury get at it in the ring in Saudi Arabia. It just doesn't work. The skills don't transfer in the same way that Fury, who talks about getting in a cage, be in no doubt, Tyson Fury has zero interest in getting in the ring in the cage with Ngannou, because he knows full well what will happen. And similarly, you know, I think MMA guys trying to transfer into boxing, different skill, different sport. I can't see it. Not that Logan Paul is a boxer by all accounts. He's, I think, from a wrestling background, but as I say, he has got more boxing experience, and I think that will tell. He'll use his size, use his range, use his jab, and I think he'll probably win it off the jab alone and just keep Dillon Danis at a distance for what it's worth. So I'm going for wins for Logan Paul on points, and a win for KSI by late stoppage. And I think it's set for a 10 rounder tomorrow. Within the 10 rounds, perhaps I'm going to say 7, 8, 9, somewhere along those lines. Let me know what you've got if you're interested. Are you watching it? How do you feel about paying for the pay-per-view? If you're a DAZN subscriber, what your thoughts on it generally? Back to some real boxing in the next couple of weeks. Glad to say there's some big fights coming up. We got Jack Catterall out in action in a couple of weeks' time. And of course, we've got the light heavyweight showdown, Buatsi and Dan Aziz. So and much more to come beyond there. So good heavyweight, to be fair, good heavyweight card, looking like it's shaping up on the Tyson Fury undercard, so that would be good. We've got Joseph Parker out in action, and Fabio Wardley against Adeleye, so some good matchups there. In other news, just very quickly, and down the appeal, Frank Warren, Queensbury, regarding the Daniel Dubois Lobo so-called, which is to be expected. There was never, I don't think, any likelihood that was going to go anywhere. And we've also seen potential talk about Anthony Joshua fighting in December on the undercard of a potential showdown between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, just before Christmas, which suggests that the Deontay Wilder fight is off the cards. Let's talk about him potentially getting out against Filip Hrgovic, and or another opponent. So that's about it for now, guys. Thanks for listening. GH Boxing Fan, don't forget, keep clicking, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff helps me taking on the big boys.